we're just gonna wing it. You make sloppy joes. I do a podcast. You realize we're filming, right? You realize we're filming? You don't care?
I don't care.
You don't care? Okay. You want to come in and say hello so you can...
No.
We had a cancellation today. I was scheduled to do my first interview, but my two interviewees, who I love dearly, put me on Brazilian time for the third time. We're going to get the political correctness right out of the way. I've done enough Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where I'm allowed to say that they're on Brazilian time, so we're going to try and reschedule it for the third time. Love you guys. So, in the interim, I'm going to do my top 3 things that I was surprised by after purchasing a natural food store. Not exactly diamond level material, but I promised myself I would do a podcast today, and what the hell. All right. First one was, customers' diets are not as good as I expected. It's much more of a spectrum than I anticipated. I came in afraid to buy the occasional roast beef sandwich, and I had Julie, my manager, look at me and go, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to care. Some people that come in are exceptionally strict. I have a lot of respect for them. They are extremely conscious of what they put in their bodies. It's what we all strive for. Most of us are somewhere on a spectrum. I am probably in the top third, maybe top 40% in terms of diet, and want to get better. But yeah, I thought that everybody was going to come in with a calorie counter and a magnifying glass to read every last ingredient. That has not been my experience. I think people and as they should, everybody should be welcome in a store, are much more on a spectrum than I anticipated. There's people who are at the beginning stages of their healthy journey, and then there's people who have been in cruise control for the past 20 years and nary a gram of sugar has passed their lips, and God bless them. I wish that was me. That's not me. As I said, I'm somewhere in the middle. So that's number one. The second one, my wife has cautioned me on how I phrase this, so I'm going to do the best I can. I make no promises. There is perhaps a level of elitism with natural food stores that I find off-putting. I challenge you to go into a store, including mine, that's fine, and ask about, find the fair trade coffee and go up to the whoever and just politely, we don't want to start a war, just ask why is fair trade coffee important? And just listen. Some of them will go on for quite a bit about how it's immensely important to make sure that workers get paid a fair wage. And to be clear, I'm completely in favor of this. I think it's a good thing. And let them go on as long as they can. It makes it more fun later if what I suspect will happen happens. When they're done, and they put the podium off to the side and, pull out an EBT card and see if they take it. Odds are they won't. And I wonder why that is. I've been told, well, it's not our market, because we called around. So we started taking EBT, which for those of you who aren't aware, aren't aware what EBT is, it's the modern equivalent of food stamps. It's essentially a credit card. Anybody with a modern cash register can easily do it. It takes, I thought it was going to be a much more involved process to accept it. My manager, Julie, and I set it up relatively easy. It probably took 6-8 weeks from, first putting pen to paper to actually being able to take the first sale. But the actual labor involved was fill out a couple forms. That's about it. It's really not involved. And as I said, if you have a modern register that takes credit cards and has an inventory, doesn't cost me anything else to take it. So it's not really a hardship on my part. I don't want to make this seem like this is a really something that's costing me money. We don't get a huge amount of EBT sales, but we'll get 1 or 2, 5 out of 7 days a week. And I think it goes to a philosophy that, that my wife and I had discussed when we're buying the store, that when you have a small business, when you are, a small business that is retail, you are serving a community, and I think you're doing yourself and the community a disservice if you don't try to service as much of that community as possible. And I just find it interesting when some places will be more than happy to bring in a fair trade item. We had a little technical glitch there. The battery died on the camera. That was not my wife yelling at me. That'll happen later. Still not going to get you to say anything?
No.
All right, the third and final thing that I was surprised by after purchasing the store was how tweaked the customers get when I change the layout of the store. Oh my God, if I move the vitamin D 6 inches to the right, somebody will complain. And it's funny, it's usually done in good fun, but they give me a hard time. But I've owned the store, it'll be 3 years this summer, and there are still people that mill around looking for tea in the sports protein section at the other end of the store, and they look like lost souls. And you have to go up to them and say, "Ma'am, you looking for something? I know what you're looking for." We all know. "Yeah, I was looking for the tea. It's that way." You can hear. And we bring them over, but it's hilarious. Especially, Cassidy, you want to be on film? You want to say hi? Nah. Must be having a bad hair day. Yeah, so COVID has required us to move things around. The immunity section exploded. Some other things, we had to make room for. But we hear about every time. We move the bread 1 aisle up or aisle down. I don't know how else to explain it. If we literally put something 1.5 feet to the right or to the left, it's not that people can't find it. They'll find it and still complain, which is hilarious. So that's it. Hopefully my interview will go on as scheduled next time, so you don't have to hear me rant and rave. See you soon.